Do you know what would happen if someone were to open the actual door of an airplane while it is soaring through the clouds? Well, today we are about to find out. So make sure to watch this video all the way to the end to learn more. And don't forget to subscribe for more amazing videos like this one. Have you ever been curious about the tiny little holes that you see on an airplane wall? Have you ever wondered why there are so many of them? And what exactly are they used for? Well, those small holes actually serve a very important function. They are used to regulate the pressure within the aircraft's cabin, because when an airplane flies at high altitudes where there is less air pressure, the air inside the cabin can become pressurized, which could cause the aircraft's hold to expand. These holes allow excess air to escape from the cabin and keep the pressure at a safe level. Now you know. But back to the question of the video. What will happen if someone opens the plane door in the middle of the flight? The consequences of opening a plane door mid-flight can vary depending on several factors, such as the altitude of the plane, the speed at which it's flying, and the weather conditions outside. However, in general, opening the door could have some pretty serious effects. First off, let's talk about the immediate reaction. When someone were to open the door, the rushing wind would likely knock them down and make it difficult for them to stand up. This could lead to injuries such as cuts, bruises, or even broken bones. Additionally, the sudden change in air pressure could cause the person's lungs to rupture, which would be life-threatening. And then there is the issue of the oxygen supply. At high altitudes, the air is much thinner and it can be difficult to breathe. Some planes are equipped with emergency oxygen masks that can drop down from the ceiling in the event of an emergency. But these masks only have a limited supply of oxygen. Opening the door would allow all of the oxygen inside the cabin to escape, which could result in passengers and crew members suffocating. Another dangerous consequence of opening the door would be the risk of decompression sickness. When the air pressure inside the cabin drops suddenly, the air inside the passengers' bodies would also expand, which could cause their blood vessels and other tissues to rupture. This could lead to a number of health problems, including paralysis and even death. As if that wasn't enough, opening the door could also disrupt the airflow over the wings, which could cause the plane to lose lift and possibly crash. The wind would flow around the plane, which could mess with the plane's control surfaces and make it difficult for the pilot to maintain control. In extreme cases, this could cause the plane to go into a tailspin and crash to the ground below. And let's not forget about the cold temperatures outside of the aircraft. At high altitudes, the temperature can drop well below freezing. If the person opening the door is not wearing a jacket or other warm clothing, they could quickly suffer from hypothermia, which could lead to organ failure and death. The loud noises and strong winds that result from opening the door could also panic the passengers and cause chaos inside the aircraft. People may try to rush for the exits, trampling over one another in the process, which could lead to injuries or even fatalities. So given all of these potential dangers, it's understandable that opening a plane's door mid-flight is not only illegal, but also incredibly risky. But what happens if the door is accidentally opened? Say, for example, by a member of the cabin crew, or due to some technical malfunction. Well, in the case of accidental door openings, airlines and aircraft manufacturers have taken steps to minimize the risk of catastrophic damage. For example, some newer aircraft are equipped with inflatable seals around their doors that can help to prevent the rapid depressurization of the cabin. Additionally, the crew is trained to respond quickly to an emergency situation, and they will typically prioritize the safety of the passengers above all else. However, despite these precautions, the consequences of an accidental door opening can still be significant. For example, in 2013, a Southwest Airlines flight from Chicago to Baltimore had an emergency landing after a flight attendant accidentally opened the wrong door during a routine safety check. Fortunately, the plane was low enough in altitude that all 175 people on board were able to evacuate safely. But the incident highlights the potential danger of even a minor mistake. In rare cases, if the door opening poses an imminent risk to the safety of the aircraft, the pilots may have no choice but to release the cabin pressure and prepare for an emergency landing. This can be a terrifying experience for passengers, but it is often necessary to ensure the safety of everyone on board. when it comes to the possibility of a passenger opening the door intentionally. It is important to note that aircraft doors are designed to be opened only when the plane is on the ground and the engines are turned off. There are multiple locks and latches that must be released in a specific sequence in order to open the door, and these mechanisms are designed to prevent accidental openings. Additionally, the handles that are used to open the door are typically located in a spot that is not accessible to passengers. Despite these safety features, there have been rare instances of passengers attempting to open the door mid-flight. In 2016, a man on a Frontier Airlines flight from Denver to Orlando tried to open the door while the plane was cruising at 30,000 feet. He was stopped by flight attendants and passengers, and thankfully, the plane was able to land safely without any injuries. It's important to remember that attempting to open a plane's door mid-flight is not only extremely dangerous, but also illegal. Passengers who are caught trying to open the door could face criminal charges in addition to being banned from the airline. Some airlines, including Southwest and JetBlue, have recently started testing new technology that allows passengers to open the overhead bin doors from their seats using their mobile devices. While this feature is designed to improve the overall passenger experience, it has understandably raised concerns about the possibility of passengers accidentally or intentionally opening the actual door. However, it is important to note that these two are completely separate systems, and it is highly unlikely that a passenger would be able to use their phone to open the actual door. With all that said, though, it's still possible that a passenger or crew member could accidentally open the door. If this were to happen on a very tall building, it could create a lot of danger for everybody involved. But with quick reactions and proper training, the consequences could be minimized. So remember, next time you're on a plane, do one be that guy or girl who tries to open the door because it's locked for a reason. It's for your safety and the safety of everyone on board. Now you know. Now, if you enjoyed watching this video, please leave us a thumbs up and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.